Well, hello everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for tuning in today. My name is Shanita and I'm your host today. And if this is your first time to the channel, I'm so happy that you're here. And if you are returning, thank you so much for coming back. And put your name in the comment below. Let me know where you're from, how far this video is reaching, so I can send out some good love to you, some good energy, and just a thank you for stopping by. Now, today's topic is one that really means a lot to me because it's something that I have really faced many times in my life. So, we're going to talk about when your boundaries cause chaos and how to stay unbothered. Now, this video truly is for those who are walking in. I walked away from the dysfunctional situation or person, and now I am receiving backlash for that. Like, I did the right thing, and why is it so hard? Why has it been so hurtful to put myself first, to make myself a priority? And this is the thanks I get? Like, this is not what I signed up for. So, I want to talk to you guys that are in this situation to be an encouragement for you. Because one of the things that I want you to realize is that their reaction, it only highlights the importance that you are in their lives, not a mistake that you feel like or you think you may have made. Your walking away and prioritizing yourself was not a mistake. The backlash you may be receiving, learn to see that as that's how much power and influence you had in that person's life. But because they didn't respect it, because they weren't able to receive it for the gift that it truly was, now they are upset. And instead of turning that lens on them and to saying why this beautiful energy felt the need to leave, they're going to put it back on you with the ultimate hope that it will bring you back to them. And this is just yet another reason why you prioritizing yourself and leaving was the best gift to yourself. So we're going to talk about three things in this video. Why you received the backlash, to give you some why and how to stay grounded and emotional support through a process like this, and to give you some tips and tools on how to make all that happen. So if you have ever set a boundary within your relationships, whether it was business, friendship, work, personal, whatever, tell me, how did that situation go for you? Share in the comments what boundary you enforced and how that worked or didn't work. Or if you're looking for tips and tools on how to set boundaries and to deal with any possible backlash, put that in the comments and I will reach out to you and give you whatever help I feel like I can. We're going to hold space for each other through these processes, and we're going to help each other because it's about being a community and helping community. So we're going to start with the first point. So I've made sure that I've written down some notes because this is good and I don't want to overlook or miss anything. So we're going to start on why the backlash happens when you set the healthy boundaries. And as you know, the disruption and the backlash usually comes because there is a comfortable, safe, secure ecosystem that has now been disrupted because you've been brave enough to say, I'm out of here. I'm not doing this anymore. I know my worth. I know the value that I bring to this relationship, and it is not reciprocated, and I'm not here for it anymore. So kudos to you if you're in that situation. But just remember that when you leave that dysfunctional situation, you are really disrupting that person's comfort zone. You're disrupting their control. And more importantly, you are disrupting the expectations that they have of you because that person is no longer there. See, you knew all along that this situation wasn't right. There was something in you that said, I dare to do and be and have different. And then there is yet another higher version of you that said, not only do I think and feel this, but I am this now. So the person that thought about leaving and the person that actually did it, you evolved and morphed into that brave, beautiful being. And that is what you need to remember and celebrate. That part of you that said, I'm not going to deal with this anymore. I deserve better. And I will have better. But that person, that situation that you left, they may not be as excited for you as you are for yourself. So again, that's the reason for today's topic is how to have that beautiful higher version of you step out there and take care of themselves, but to be prepared for any possible backlash that comes, the chaos that comes because you decided to enforce or reinforce your boundaries. So remember, their control, their influence has been taken away. And most people, they don't like that. And so if they can't control you, guess what they're going to try to do? They're going to try to control the perception of you. And all of it is a unhealthy, grand, elaborate scheme to bring you back into that dynamic. And what I want you to see is in moments like this that the excuse me, the harder the backlash, it really is proof of the degree, the depth of your impact that you had on that person and that relationship. Because when goodness, when safety and security is taken away, it makes any and everyone feel, well, quite frankly, in a state of panic. And the human instinct is to try to bring it back because you want it, right? But a healthier, evolved person will do that in a way that doesn't demean or devalue anyone else in order to get their needs met. So you want to make sure that if you're in a situation where this person tries to attack your character, attack your perception of yourself to other people, it's hard to resist. You want to fight back and say, no, that's not me. I'm not like that. They're portraying me to be a monster. But in many cases, silence, not saying anything, not getting in there and fighting, saying, no, that's wrong. That's not me. He's lying. She's lying. Why are you saying this? Sometimes doing that makes it worse because it's feeding into this person's narrative. And honestly, I've been there more times than I can count, unfortunately. And at the end of the day, if people who really know you and truly love you, they're not going to believe that stuff that the disgruntled person is saying, the lies they're telling. They're not going to believe that. And people that don't know you, that make an active choice to believe that person without coming to you and asking about that, well, do you really need that kind of energy in your life? It's such a hard space to be in. It really is. I know when it was happening to me, I felt vulnerable. I didn't want people to see me that way. And it made me want to say, no, I'm really a good person. My heart is good. Don't say that. I've never done anything like that. But I've learned over the years that when I get still and I get quiet and let that person just do and say whatever, that I would say 9 times out of 10 in my life, that person really got all that back and then some. And when my character did the talking for me, when my good works and deeds or whatever, my kindness did the talking for me, all that energy went back to them and it just really made them look that much more disingenuous, right? So if you are able to just sit still and remember who you are, remember the why of why walking away from this person was even necessary. And that's going to take me to my next point. When you're trying to stay emotionally safe and grounded, when you feel like you're having this opposition, remembering the why of needing to leave in the first place, that's going to be very, very important. The reasons you set the boundaries is so that you can remain strong amidst the chaos. It would be nice if people said, oh my goodness, I haven't talked to so-and-so in so long. I wonder what they're doing. And you can have a conversation and say, I felt like this when you did this. I really don't like that. Or you had to take it to where you leave and they go, I get it now. I understand. It wasn't until I was away from you that I got just how valuable and the value you brought to this dynamic. And I'm sorry for not recognizing it sooner. Like that would be the ideal, right? That's an energy you can work with down the line. So making sure that you root yourself in the why it's even necessary for you to, walk away from such a dysfunctional dynamic. And then you want to make sure that you're prioritizing your self care, whatever it is that you like to do. I'm a meditator, big meditator. I love to journal and I love sound, and doing a lot of energy healing work. Like over the last couple of years, I have literally been envisioning putting, this wall of protection around me, this safe light, this space. I call it a love bubble. Other people call it whatever. But it's when you protect yourself with this light of love, and I just make sure that I stay in that as much as possible because there are a lot of influences out there, a lot of energy out there that's competing. And I don't have time for that because back in the old day before I got, oh my goodness, rooted in just how amazing I am, I would really get swayed by those things. And like I said, my heart's tender. And I don't like anybody to suffer. I don't. To the point where I used to inconvenience myself and take on the sufferings of other people just to prove that point. And then I had to realize that that's not so healthy because I can't sustain that emotionally, right? So I had to put things in place to help me stay committed to my own journey, anchoring to my why. Because I know many empaths and highly sensitive people, that ability to process, especially if you have a sensitive heart and nature like I do, you feel everything. You pick up everything, right? And especially when you're in the midst, like you are the main character in this video of, I'm just trying to take care of myself. Why am I having to deal with all this? You must have a great support system because you're going to have people that truly love you, that have your best interest at heart, to remind you of, yeah, you did right. Oh my goodness. No, don't listen to that. Many years ago, I was fortunate enough to have my wife tell me these things because I had a significant person in my life just flip the script on me. And I just said, I'm not dealing with that. That's unfair. That's not even like me. And it wasn't until she saw, I can't believe this person is going from this person to this person to this person saying these nasty negative things. And why would they even do that? Like, it's so obvious that that stuff isn't true. But it was a way they thought that they could use um, embarrassment, fear, anger, to make me say, you know what, I miss you. Let me come back to that dysfunction. And it's just crazy. So I'm grateful that I had her here to help me say, you know what, you did the right thing. And I'm sorry that you even have to go through that because that's not fair at all. Now, recognizing your strength. Now, sometimes the strength it took to leave is the same strength that you will use to navigate this season. After you tap into your why, you got to see everything that you bring to the table. Walking away isn't giving up. It's you stepping up into who you are, who you know yourself to be. That grand, that powerful, that purposeful person inside of you. You are saying, I'm done with this dysfunction. I'm choosing to invest that energy into this person I know I'm becoming, that I feel myself being called toward. And if you have been in a situation like that, share it in the comments. Let me know. Let me know how you have faced the backlash of leaving and how you can be there and help other people in our growing community. Because let me tell you, it's not an easy place to be in. And it can feel really hurtful. Sometimes it could even feel isolating, especially if it's your first time. And this, you've never faced anything like this before. I just want to be an encouraging voice to let you know you're not crazy. You're not doing anything wrong by prioritizing yourself. And honestly, it's to be expected. I used to tell clients all the time, if you are in my life and you are as good to me as you have been to the other people that have not been respectful, I would miss you if you left. I would miss you because you make life so much better. You make life easier. I know that if I go out there and things don't work out for me, you're going to always be there to catch me. I would miss that. The problem is, instead of saying, look, I was not a good steward of our relationship, and I deserve everything you gave me, and I apologize, and I'm going to be a better person for it. That would be the ideal, right? But sometimes it doesn't work out that way. And even if later down the line you have to figure out if you want this person back in your life, because let's just face it, sometimes it can be family members, and I'm talking about really close family members, right? And it's not so easy to cut out people that are genetically tied to you or have close relationships with other people in your life. But I'm talking about when you can make a clean break and you know this is the best thing for you, do what you need to do. But if you have to stay in somewhat community with these people, this is how you do it. Because the person that did that to me, I couldn't just walk away from them. I think that's part of the reason why it hurts so much, is because not only do I have to hear these lies, but they are infecting people around me and people are talking and this, that, and the other. So it really put me in a position to say, you know what? How are you going to handle this? Are you going to call everybody and go, they're lying, they're lying, they're lying? Or are you just going to allow the truth to slowly reveal itself? And you get to know who really is for you and who isn't. So pause before you respond. Just take a deep breath, pause, and consider even if responding is necessary or beneficial, because a lot of times it is not. You want to remember that silence is also powerful. When you're not saying anything, you give that person the opportunity to reflect. And sometimes in their reflection, they are really seeing, feeling, and hearing the nastiness that they are trying to project onto you. And that can be a very powerful and therapeutic moment, honestly. When you're in a place of stillness, it is really displaying your power. Because you're saying, not only do I not care or believe what you're saying about me, I just know it's so filled with lies that good intent people are going to see through that. And it really puts you in a level or a space of they have no choice but to respect you more. Because sometimes people can say and do things and they know it will get a result or a rise out of you. And when you don't, and you're standing in your power, when you're standing still and you're just like, whatever, how do you fight with that? You know, how do you compete with that? So remember, silence can be a very powerful tool in your toolkit. It's up to you to know when you're listening to your internal guidance, speaking or not speaking, either one is for your empowerment. Make sure that if you talk, it's from an empowering place and the receiver is going to actually hear and be open to what you say. Or if you're silent, is it coming from a place of empowerment? You want to make sure you put yourself in a place where you are empowered, whether you speak or you don't. So if you choose to stay calm and focus on honoring your boundary rather than justifying it. Just honor yourself. Always put yourself in a place of when you make decisions for yourself, whether you're dealing with boundary issues or not, are you honoring who you are? Listen to your internal guidance and honor that. Even if the decision is hard, make sure you honor that when your internal guidance gives you instruction. Now, when you've done the brave thing and you've set a boundary and you walk away, I just want more than anything that you know that this is when they now realize that your presence was your peace. I mean, your presence was their peace. And that when you walked away, that was you putting your power on display. Your presence was everything. Before you said anything, before you did anything, You literally showing up and being in the same space, your power, your presence, it's intoxicating. And when that is taken away, that is deeply felt. And a lot of this is us coming into our own awareness of just how powerful our presence is. All the time in coaching sessions, I'm reminding people of the simple things, your presence. See, as empaths and highly sensitive people, we're so busy giving, sharing, helping, that we forget just how much power we have just within our being. We are the magic. We must become aware of that magic. And when you become aware of that magic, make sure that you are respecting that you're not out giving it away all willy-nilly. Because it's not about when you're awakening to your power, it's not that you're saying you don't want to share it anymore. It's saying that you're being intentional of how you share it. Because I know it's powerful and it's priceless. And I know what it feels like to have a big heart and want to give and share. I don't like to see people suffer. But more than anything, I don't want to suffer either. And the moment I became aware of just how powerful I am as an individual, that's when I started giving more respect towards it. Because when God blesses us with things, it's not always so much about it for being for us, but being a divine conduit for other people. And how can I expect anybody else to respect me if I'm not first respecting my presence, my power? So please think about that. You walking away is a demonstration of your power. Them reacting to it is a demonstration of the impact that you had in their life. You were their peace. Your presence equaled their peace. Your walking away demonstrated your power. Remember that. In the moment that they try to control the perception of you and tell lies, things that are not true, remember they are lies. And people who choose to believe it, they didn't mean you any good anyway. But people that really know it, they know you, they know your heart, they will not believe that stuff. Or at the very least, they'll come ask you a simple question to clear up any confusion. So remember the power of being still, the power of going within, listening to your internal guidance. This is what you want to remember. Backlash that you receive from people that you hold accountable, that is their reaction to their loss. That is their reaction to their thinking they had control of you. That is their reaction to losing their comfort, losing their peace. Their chaos is not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to yourself, making sure that you are taken care of and that you honor yourself. And when you give out of overflow because you've met your own needs, you've attended to your own needs, you can give what's left over. Now, one of the things I want us to talk about as I close up is to make sure that you continue to make your peace a priority. The world is going crazy, y'all. But can you stay and remain in peace? How do you do that? How do you want to do that? And is that even necessary or important to you? I know for me it is. So I want to make sure that you know that when you set your boundaries and it causes chaos and you want to stay unbothered, here's what you do. You remember the why. Why is this so important for me? Because your emotional, spiritual, and mental and physical health are so important that I'm willing to guard it with everything in me. I'm willing to walk away from things I thought I had to have or things I thought I needed in order to feel okay. And you know what? When I let those things go, I realized I didn't need them at all. Matter of fact, they were draining me. Remember, become aware of just how powerful you are. So in the coming days and weeks, I want you to test this. When you're around people, when you're around friends, see how your presence affects the energy in the room when you're there. Ask people, what value do I bring to your life? How do you see me? What do you see in me? Do I matter? In what ways do I matter? And begin to listen. And remember your power. Remember who you are. And don't ever let anybody or anything take that away from you, especially yourself. I hope today's topic helped. I hope that it brings you some clarity and it just helps you to really rejuvenate and renew your sense of value and purpose within your relationships. I'm so excited to be here with you, and I'm so grateful that you're here with me. And guess what? May you be happy, may you be well, and may love always find its way to you.